All right, guys, so we are back today with a new car. It's gonna be a new car update. I didn't want to make it this way. I definitely didn't want to make it this way, but so it's gonna be before you see the rest of this. Yeah, so what we have here is a '01 Lincoln Continental. My grandparents have a home in Florida that they come to in the wintertime, and so I figured I would take advantage of the location and buy a cool rust-free car down here, one that I've been searching for a while. I've been looking for this car for a while, and these things are just dying off fast. I mean, they've been died off, but here we have a 2001 Lincoln Continental. One of the best luxury cars of the early 2000s, if you ask me. I know these things were kind of stinkers, and they fell apart, and that's why you don't see a lot of them. These things did not hold up good, and I will be the first to admit they did not hold up good, but the ones that are still out there, they're nice. So I did find one of those. Bought it from a used car dealership, sight unseen. I had my grandparents look at it for me. Long story short, they looked at it visually. It looked good. It drove good until I got it. We just noticed, my grandparents noticed some roaches in it a few days ago, and they were not there on the test drive, and through sitting in the garage waiting for me, the roaches have come out. I didn't know that until I kind of came here to get the car. Big deal. It's what it is. I have the car. It's a nice car. Otherwise, it's just kind of full of roaches. There's one right there crawling. You will see plenty of that in the video coming up here. And so the next big thing on the first clip I made this morning was me just noticing the car, looking at it, getting an oil change on it, getting it ready to go on the road trip home. Throughout driving it for the next, I don't know, within 2 hours of that video, the transmission started leaking, and we blew the front transmission seal on the car. And so screw the roaches at this point. Now we have to worry about transmission fluid, and you're going to see all that. I'm going to explain it. We're going to try to get it home, but guys, just first beginning clip of this, that's what's going on. We're going to try to limp it home, but nonetheless, this is a great video, and I will look back on this years to come. So enjoy, guys. All right, so this is the exterior right here. This is really my first time seeing it, so overall, really good shape. I'm a little disappointed on a few things, though. There's been a few little repaint touch-ups, which you can see right there almost. I don't think the whole car has been done, but it's definitely been blended. There's some orange peel-ish going on, but honestly, for the color this is, it's super hard to blend, so I'm going to say I'm okay with it, but nonetheless, it's not exactly factory perfect, but it's 20 years old, so it's really hard to complain in that time. So, but overall, here's the exterior of it. We'll have more of an in-depth in a little bit, but we got work to do. We got one day to get this thing kind of ready to go home. We're gonna do an oil change on it, and we have roaches. All right, guys, so we are back here with the Lincoln. Not that one, but this one right here. As you can see, as I kind of elaborated on the last clip there, we got a roach problem. Perks of buying a car in Florida. So, yeah, we're dealing with roaches right now. And I saw two last night in the car when I got here to look at it, and they're not anywhere to be seen right now. But there is definitely a roach presence. So, what I bought here was roach sticky traps, fogger, and some other stuff. We're gonna get rid of these roaches. If this doesn't work, I do know that you can fog the car with an ozone. So we'll probably get ozone back at home, but I really don't want to ride back with any roaches. And at this point, this is the least of our problems right now, the roaches. But to add insult to injury, the transmission seal blew out on the transmission itself. So I had it looked at a mechanic down here. They said I could probably get it home if I just keep topping it off and, have fluid with me. So that's going to be what we're going to do here. I have a whole bunch of fluid. I have 2 gallons of fluid, sea foam, and of course a funnel. So hopefully that'll get us home 1,200 miles basically, and probably going to be about 13, 14, because we're going to North Carolina and get something too. So, but anyways, yeah, that's the update on the Lincoln. So it does leak underneath now. I don't know how bad the leak is right now, but it's not leaking. It's a little leaky up there. So I should probably push that forward there. But yeah, so basically what I've concluded is that the trans seal in the transmission on the AX4N, this is a transmission that is used on the Taurus and Windstar. Of course, it's a V8 behind it. It's got some power. So yeah, that AX4N packed its bags. So it held on for 20 years though. So what do you expect? But it just sucks that we're this far away from home. But now we do have a noteworthy vehicle vlog type style. We're going to do this. I'm going to make a video out of it. It's going to be an adventure one way or another for me to look back on years from now. So this is definitely an adventure. So we have a Roach Lincoln with a leaky trans. It's got 70,000 miles on it. It's mint. Otherwise, it's pretty mint. So once we get it back home and buttoned up, I think it's going to be a cool car to have. So let's go ahead and I'll flip the camera around and show you guys what it looks like. And all right, guys, so just to hold you over for the next video, this is what we have. This is a 2001 Lincoln Continental. I'm the third owner. Second owner bought it in 2003, I think with like 3,000 or 7,000 miles. Those two numbers stick in my head. So I'm going to say it's a one-owner car. That's just how I look at it. He had it since 03. The guy died, ended up at a dealership, a used dealership, and that's how it came to me. The guy passed away this summer, so I want to say the family probably donated the car, donated it or traded it in. They don't need Grandpa's old car. And so that's how I have it. It's in actually very good shape overall. I want to say it was touched up with some paint in a few areas. There's like some bubbling right here. And then there was a pretty mediocre job done somewhere back here. Yeah, there was some paint work done. It's hard to see. I showed you in the first clip there, but yeah, I'm impressed overall. I'm actually very impressed with it. I mean, there's like a little bit of paint run right there. I just don't see how that came out of there from the factory, but it could have. So, but looking at it, we do have our roach traps en route, so hopefully we get something out of that. But I mean, look at it. It's in great shape. All the electronics work, which that's the biggest issue on these cars is finding electronics that work. So hopefully they continue to work. All the stereo equipment works. The 7-speaker audio works great. So it's going to be one of those things that we're going to save and probably keep for a long time. I've been searching for this for a while. So yes, I bought it, and I didn't pay a bare minimum for this, but I didn't pay top dollar for what these are going for. Paid about $4.5 grand for it. So, you know, it'll be worth probably another, I don't know, $1,500 to $2 grand in the transmission repair, but that'll all be up to date, and we'll figure it out once we get it to our dude. Worth it. I think it's worth it. Biting my tongue right now, but I think it's worth it. So, I mean, look how clean it is. I mean, see down there. I don't know if you can see the trans. It's dripping. So, on the next video, this is going to be the trip home. It's going to make it the 1,200 mile trip, and we're actually going to North Carolina to get some Bronco wheels for an upcoming vehicle at some point in the future. So all in all, it'll probably be about I would say, man, probably close to 1,400 mile trip. Hopefully we make it in this thing. So stay tuned, guys, and enjoy. We're gonna go ahead and replace these wipers before we go. So we have these little roach traps actually, and we're gonna go ahead and put a few of these in the car. We're gonna pull this right here, and that should allow them to, I don't know, suck on that fluid in there, and hopefully they die, and their babies die, and all their little buddies. So we're gonna go throw a few of those around and see what happens. All right, now what we have here is some fogger. This is indoor fogger. I know they make stuff for cars, but due to my time constraint, this is what I could get. I do realize You probably shouldn't use this in a car, but if it's for indoor houses, it's probably safe, at least somewhat, to be around after it's done. So now that I know that, I'm just going to use one can and maybe come back later and use the other. So let's go ahead and set this back here. And I guess the best place to put it is probably right here. So just like that. Oh geez, that's all over. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Yeah, whatever. My upholstery. Fuck it. Bye, roaches. All right, guys. So a little update on the bomb. It's been about, I don't know, 2 hours. So we got some roaches down there, and we got some right up there. So I'm trying to vacuum them out, the ones that are like kind of on the door panels and stuff, and I'm thoroughly grossed out. I mean, this has done a fantastic job at grossing me out. So, but you know, the more we kill and suck out, the less I'll have to worry about crawling up my leg on the way home over the next few days. So we're gonna go ahead and light off another one of these. Probably a few more. We have 5 more. So yeah, we'll go ahead and see what we can do with this. So no weird smells from the bomb, but yeah, that's what we're dealing with right now. So we lit those. We lit one off up front there. We lit another one off back there, which it's just bombing the hell out of this. I covered the seats up. So it's getting all over the windows, but I did notice that it didn't really leave a residue behind. So I'm okay with that, honestly. So we're double bombing it, and like I said, we have 3 left. So we have plenty of time to hopefully clear it out as much as we can. All right, guys, so we are pretty much towards the end of the day. We are leaving in the morning, and I'm looking at the car right now. I've bug bombed it twice so far with a total of 3 cans. It's done a pretty good job, I think. We got a few, as you saw, and every time I do it, there's more and more that die. Like, we have 3 cans left, so I think I'm gonna use 2 more on the interior of the car, and I'm gonna do 1 in the trunk. So that should get us to where we need to be to safely drive this, as you can see. I do have everything all kind of masked off just because those bug bombs are kind of liquidy. They dry, but I don't want to get any electronics damage, so I do have everything all, as you can see, kind of just covered to keep it better, I guess. So we're going to probably do the trunk here, but yeah, that's what's going on. All right, so as you can see, we're gonna probably light one off right here. I'll probably set you up and do this, but I see I got everything all wrapped up. I'm gonna put one back there like we have done, one right here to get both corners of the car. And I did vacuum it all over again. And I do have to say I'm kind of grossed out a little bit more because there's like black droplets of probably feces. So this interior is guaranteed to get ripped out when I get it back home. But the goal is to get it safe to drive, and now we have to still worry about the transmission making it. So that's what we're dealing with. But I mean, look at these traps. There's already one there. There's a few more there. I'm hoping as the night goes on, a few more walk on these. So like I said, I'm thoroughly grossed out. I could probably get my money back to this from the seller and threaten a biohazard, because that's what this is. It's a biohazard. So I'm not going to let this deter me, though, because, as I've said, I have been tracking this car down forever. And, yeah, I don't think I'll find another one of these like this. I'm sure I would, but I just don't want to I'm done. I'm so done looking for these things. So, guys, it'll probably be the last old car I buy for a while. Because this is the old car to have, if you ask me. So, there it is. We have our 2 gallons of ATF down there with some seafoam. I'll probably dump in at some point for the road trip, but given that we can't actually go with the transmission the way it is, looking at the trans down here, it's leaking. You can see it, but I think as we drive, it's probably not going to leak out as much. At least that is my current hope. I've definitely driven some scary transmissions. But as I go forward with this, I do notice there is some trans buildup on the exhaust already. And that is old caked on trans fluid. So that's kind of a good sign in a way, because there's indications of leaking going on, and it's been driven this way for a while. So that might be something to kind of get us through this mess. But it's hard to blame the seller about the transmission because, like I said, I did give it a few wide open throttles and probably blew something out. So I'm not going to blame the trans on them, but I will definitely say the roaches. I'm sure they definitely saw a few roaches. So with all of that being said, guys, we're going to wrap it up here. This is going to be the end of the video. I'm going to try to upload this tonight and then have the other half in at some point in the next couple days. So guys, wish me luck here. We're going to get done with this bombing and we will hopefully be on the move at some point after this. So as usual, guys, thank you for watching, and we will talk to you all later. And before we finally go, there's a few things left over in the trunk from the previous owner. The trunk liner up here, which was taken out right there, it was kind of sagging, so I ripped it out. And upon ripping it out, I found this old freezer bag from Costco, some old baseball cards, which are slimy, but they're in 1993 edition. And then I found a old picture right here. So one of these is the previous owner probably. So that's kind of neat as well. That'll probably live in the car. And then I found some KY jelly. So yeah, there you guys go.